Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. This evening we'll be discussing the Panchama Veda, Gospel of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, a very important topic. But let us begin, as usual, with the stotra. Tabo kathamritam tapta jivanam kabhi bhirilitam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadatam bhubi grinanti e bhurida janaha. Now one person, he was asking question, but this was happening when the devotees, they were celebrating Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's birthday at Dakshineshwar. The conversation and the Girish Ghosh came. So Girish, he was asking a question. Can one realize God by sadhana? The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, people have realized God in various ways. Some through much austerity, worship and devotion, they have attained perfection through their own efforts. This is one way. A group of people, they are trying in their own way, and as per the injunctions of the scriptures, as per the instructions of the gurus, so they practice. By that way they also realize the Brahman, the God. Now some are born perfect. As for example, Narada and Shukadeva, they are called Nitya Siddha. Nitya, regularly, daily, usual, normal. Siddha is perfect, Nitya Siddha, eternally perfect. There are also those who have attained perfection all of a sudden. It is like a man's unexpectedly coming into a great fortune. Again, there are instances of people's realizing God in a dream and by divine grace. So there are so many different ways one can realize God. So that is the beauty of the Hinduism. The Sanatana Dharma, they always say that if you are sincere, you will surely realize God. What is that God realization? Knowing its own self. So that is the main idea. And how it is possible? When mind is collected, it is not connected with the objects of the world, and it is completely collected, one-pointed and focused on God, and then obviously it becomes in that way free. It may be indifferent. Previously, some people in the previous births, they have done something, and in this life they start from there, and immediately they themselves can't understand how it is possible. There is a beautiful story. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna himself said, maybe we'll come afterwards. The one person, he went to collect some fagots, the firewood, and inside the jungle. Then it became dark, and he was afraid that he won't be able to go out of the jungle in that night. So he climbed on a tree, waiting for the daybreak. So at that time he saw one person, he was practicing the Tantra sadhana. He brought a dead body under that tree, and he arranged all the puja. He sat on that, and he was going on uttering the mantras, and slowly that person, he was attentively listening to that mantras, and he was also, because there was nothing else to do, he was also repeating that. And finally, when almost everything was done, then suddenly one tiger pounced on that person who was doing the austerity and killed and took him away. Now this, the person who went to collect the fagots, he was sitting on the tree. He came down knowing that since the tiger has already got his food, it won't come back again. So he then sat out of curiosity on that asana, that place where that man was sitting and doing the austerity. The moment he uttered those mantras which he was going on repeating and listening, because almost whole night, the moment once he uttered, immediately Goddess Kali appeared before him and wanted to give him the boon. This man told, Mother, you were so gracious, but I am curious to know, I didn't do anything. I was just out of curiosity sat on this. But the person who organized the whole thing, why he was killed by a tiger, why you have not given him the darshan, manifested before him? Then the mother told, well, my son, you have already completed all those things in your previous life. Only a little was absent. In this life, now, this moment you have completed, so I have manifested. But he will have to wait for the next life. So it is very difficult to explain anything, how it goes, the divine ways. So when Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling that some people can truly realize God through dream, not that suddenly each and every one of us are having some dream, different type of dreams, but not that every dream can help us to realize God. It depends on our past karma, past birth, and our purity, our withdrawal of the mind from the sense objects and all those. But that is also possible. Then Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna sang a beautiful song, Shama Dhan ki Shabai Pai. Can everyone have the vision of Shama? Is Kali the treasure for everyone? Oh, what a pity! My foolish mind will not see what is true. Abodh mon bojena eki dai. Sri Ramakrishna remained in ecstasy a few moments. Girish and the other devotees were seated before him. A few days earlier, Girish had been very rude to Master at the Star Theatre. But now he was in a calm state of mind. Now, those who have already read the biography of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna know this incident. Girish Ghosh, he was a very moody person. And naturally, the other people, they used to misunderstand Girish, thinking that why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna goes to him when he is not properly behaving. But Sri Ramakrishna, who could read the mind, who could see the mind, so obviously knew that Girish was a great devotee. He was having complete faith. Outwardly, he used to behave like that. The Sri Ramakrishna, that is the reason he used to go over there and he used to talk to him. Master to Girish, this mood of yours is very good. It is peaceful. Now the Girish has come, he is talking, he is serving, asking question. So the master is appreciating this mood. I prayed about you to the Divine Mother. O Mother, make him peaceful so that he won't abuse me. The Sri Ramakrishna, he is telling that, O Mother, please, he should not abuse me. So this is the way the Sri Ramakrishna is praying to Mother, the Divine Mother. Girish to aim to Master Mahasaya. I feel as if someone were pressing my tongue. I can't talk. Now, the prayer of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, we can understand how things can change. Bhagavan is, Sri Ramakrishna himself is that. When he is mentioning the Mother, Mother Kali, it doesn't mean some other entity, it is the power of God. Though apparently Sri Ramakrishna was worshipping the Divine Mother, Ma Kali, and doing that was to teach us how to concentrate, how to practice austerity, how to be one pointed to realize God. But he himself was that. Now he is praying as if Why he said this? I pray to the Divine Mother. So our faith comes to the Divine Mother. You know, at that time when Sri Ramakrishna advented and he was establishing the religion, the people, they were thoroughly confused about religion. The different type of people, they were talking about different ways, different means, and so many mysticism also came, different cults came. So those who have read that, that time the society, the condition, so Sri Ramakrishna's contribution to bring back the faith as the existence of God. God is there. I am with oath I am telling you, the God is there. You can talk to Him, you can see Him. That was Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. The main contribution of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna to bring back the pure faith on the existence of God. So Sri Ramakrishna said that I pray to the Mother. And Girish is telling the Master Mahashaya, I also felt someone is pressing my tongue. I can't talk. Sri Ramakrishna was still in an indrawn mood. He seemed to be gradually forgetting the main and the objects around him. Friends, this is so rare. Those who are trying to practice meditation, they know it very well. When we are trying to concentrate even for a second, it's so difficult. Almost all people, the question that they constantly ask, how to concentrate? I don't get peace. I am constantly trying, but I am not getting the peace. Because there are so many desires are there. Some expressed desires, some hidden desires. So many things are in the mind. We are not knowing the mind. So that is the reason we cannot concentrate. And when it becomes through practices and the grace of God, it becomes purified. That means not attracted for the worldly objects, then immediately it goes into that deep mood. Those who have realized it, they understand it. And those who have developed the process of meditation, sometimes some people nowadays almost everywhere in 30 days learn meditation like that. They teach us, I don't know how, but anyway, if they are successful, very good. But one should be careful about it. Meditation means withdrawing the mind from the sense objects and putting it on a particular divine object. That is the basic of meditation. Then going beyond that object and merging into the original, and that is the ultimate. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna now and then, it is as if so natural, so normal. The other people, they used to wonder how it is possible. And here we find Sri Ramakrishna, he is gradually forgetting man and the objects around him. You know that when you are meditating, must be your guide, and the Guru has said that you have to forget yourself. You have to come out of your body and to see the chosen deity inside your mind, who is sitting and looking to that direction to which you are seeing, looking. That means you have to forget your body. That is the main thing. And also all around, again and again in different way, that is the ultimate meditation. Sri Ramakrishna's mind going into that. Then he looking at the aim, he said, they all come to Dakshineshwar, let them. Mother knows everything. So many varieties of people coming. Some are curious, some are critic, some are genuinely devotee. So different type of people are coming. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna has said, Chaturbida bhajante mam, artha, jigyashu, artharthi, jnani. So those who are seeking the help, the divine help, so they come to God. Then some curious people, they also come. What is happening? What is that? So they are coming. Artharthi, they have some desire to fulfill. So thinking that if the blessings of God, my desire can be fulfilled, then it is okay. But Jnani, they are sincere to know about the spiritual life. So these four types of people are coming. Sri Ramakrishna also observing, and he is telling the mother knows everything, mother will take care of it. The different type of people are coming to him and they are talking, they are asking questions, he is answering, but it is not possible for him. So he is telling mother knows, mother will know. To a young man of the neighborhood, he said, "Hello, what do you think? What is the duty of man?" So he used to ask this question to many. He asked this question to the famous person. We have already read that chapter. All sat in silence. To Narayan he said, "Don't you want to pass the examination?" But my dear child, a man freed from bondage is Shiva. Entangled in bondage is Jiva. The Shiva and Jiva. So Shiva means divine. The Jiva means a soul bound because of the desire. Sri Ramakrishna is teaching this to the devotees. The Narayan, that young boy, was sitting. He is encouraging him to pass the exam, but at the same time, when you are going to pass the exam, then the job search, then they settle, one after another comes. So he is also giving the warning, be careful about that. Sri Ramakrishna was still in the God-intoxicated mood. There was a glass of water near him. He drank the water. He said to himself, "Why? I have to drink water in this mood?" It was not yet dusk. Sri Ramakrishna was talking to Atul. See, friends, when we read the Gospel, Master Mahasaya, he never left anything. Whatever he heard, he noted, he reproduced. So obviously, sometimes those who are not aware of the nature of a divine personality, when they are withdrawn, so they can't understand actually what they are doing. But the other people who are observing, sitting over there, they can feel what is happening, why he is behaving like this. They can't understand him. Even when we are reading this, those who are not aware about the Sri Ramakrishna's, that divine life, they may misunderstand why what is there. A glass of water was there, he drank, and then why he is talking like this? That particular mood, sometimes many of you have experienced, those who are practicing meditation, after practicing meditation for 1 hour, when you are slowly getting up, you don't like to talk. Have you not felt that? You don't like to see anything. You like to be quiet for another 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and that is good. Sometimes it is said, Ma Sharadamani Devi also said, that when you are practicing meditation that you are not successful, then you got up and immediately become very busy. You should not do that, because the mind is coming down slowly, and that is the greatest difficulty, to come down the mind. When the mind is coming down and slowly you are getting up or sitting on the same seat for some time, looking at the picture of the God or Goddess, empty mind, suddenly the realization may come. That feeling, divine feeling may come. Or maybe that you have got up and you will feel that we don't like to talk to anyone, you don't like to go or do anything. It takes time to come down, because there are two completely different realms. One is this external, another internal. And when we go by the grace of God, even for some time, just few moments, to that internal realm, It is so wonderful. We don't like to come out of that. Each and every one of us, we want peace, joy, happiness, bliss. That is the goal of human life. But unfortunately, we think the power, administrative power and different type of wealth and these, that will give me the peace. It is again and again. Each page of history is telling the truth. It is not. One cannot be happy with all this. Why? But it's temporary. Today, this moment, you may think that I am so and so. Next moment, you are nowhere. Look at around the history that is happening. Every time someone or other who was, yesterday he was a king and today is nobody. So it goes on because the nature is temporary. So where we are satisfied? Inside us. Yes. But many of us, we don't believe it. There's a great source of joy is there within us, within our mind, when we can completely control our mind. Controlling the mind means the thoughts. Thoughts of what? Thoughts of the objects. So that is exactly what Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is showing us, teaching us. Now, it was not yet dusk. Sri Ramakrishna was talking to Atul, who was seated in front of him. When Mastermosha is writing, he is giving a picture. If you can imagine, you can transport yourself to that particular time when Sri Ramakrishna is Dakshinesha and that gentleman Atul is sitting before him. Atul was Girish's brother and a lawyer of the High Court of Calcutta. The Girish Ghosh, he was a dramatist and was very famous in those days, and his brother was also very famous. He was a High Court, Calcutta High Court is very famous in those days, and that was the undivided India, right from Kabul down to Sri Lanka and Burma. Everything was that India ruled by the Britishers. At that time, Calcutta High Court, we can imagine, there he is the barrister. A Brahmin neighbor was also seated near him. Now this Brahmin is asking. Now when we read the Brahmin or the Kshatriya, it may be difficult for the Westerners to understand it. So in the Indian, we will discuss that afterwards. This Brahmin, they are higher caste, sometimes the people they say. Why? Because they do the worship, they mainly, they claim that the Brahmins are connected with the good work, good thought and to divinity. The Brahmin is asking, can anyone but a Brahmin achieve perfection? He is asking to Sri Ramakrishna. Usually the ordinary people, they always think Brahmin only can realize the Brahman, realize the God and no one else. Now here is a great question. What Brahmin means? Friends, today I will try to discuss, quoting from our the Mahabharata and other scriptures, what is this Brahmanhood? The moment he asks this question, can anyone but a Brahmin achieve perfection? Master was not happy listening to this question. His reply is, why should you ask that? It is said that in the Kali Yuga, the Shudras achieve love of God. There are instances of Shabari, then Ruidash, the untouchable Guhaka and others. Those who are accustomed with the Ramayana, Mahabharata, these great histories of India, they will immediately understand and recognize these names. This Guhaka, he used to perform the mainly hunting and selling the meat and the skin and all those at the time of Sri Ramachandra. And the other job that they used to do, that crossing the people from this shore to that shore by boat. And third, they used to help people to burn their dead bodies. So that was all that they used to do. So the Guhaka was the leader of that. And the whole clan, maybe, they were known as that Guhaka, the Chandala. But Sri Ramachandra, he never cared for the work that he is doing. He saw the mind of the person. So Sri Ramachandra, he went and embraced that person. But now, unfortunately, even those worshipping Sri Ramachandra will never go and do the handshake even with those type of people, those who are working that. What is the difference? Why not? In America and other countries, they never think in that way. Of course, in Europe, that is there, hierarchies are there. Wherever there is a kings and they are working kingdoms, that hierarchies are always there. But America completely free from that. This is a great country. That's why Swami Vivekananda introduced Vedanta over here. Now, let us see why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling like that, and he is asking that person, why you are asking this question? And Sri Ramakrishna mentioned about the Guhaka and Shabari and Ridash. Ridash is more modern, but the Shabari, he was the daughter of a Shabara. Shabara means a hunter. And that Shabari was a great devotee of Sri Ramachandra. Sri Ramachandra was in life that time. He was moving inside the jungle. And Shabari heard that Sri Ramakrishna will be, Sri Rama will be coming through this way. So she was waiting over there. Years together she was waiting. And every day she used to clean that path through which the Sri Ramachandra will come. And she used to keep everything neat and tidy. Sri Rama will come, he will sit over here, I will offer the glass of water, I will offer fruits. So that was, and she was going on praying, waiting for the God to come. When the God came, she became elderly by that time, and she was so excited, so overwhelmed, then she was tasting the fruits, thinking that I should not give any fruit which is not good taste. So she was tasting herself first, and then she was offering to Sri Rama, this is a good taste, you can take this one. Without hesitation, Sri Ramachandra was eating that. Can the Brahmins of today will do that? That is the question. We worship Sri Rama, but we don't see the quality of that God. So that's why we have to learn. Now, friends, in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Sri Krishna has very clearly mentioned that the Supreme Lord has allotted 4 responsibilities to 4 human groups, which is known as Varna Veda. This Varna means the color. Literally, Varna means color. Veda, that is the difference. Why? The color is the quality. Why the color? Because Sattva, Raja, Tama. And this Sattva is white color. Then Raja is red and Tama is black. So this Sattva, Raja, Tama is identified with 3 different color: white, red and black. So here it says Varna Veda, the difference because of the color, Swatta, Raja and Tama. Now, in the Bhagavad Gita again, in the 18th chapter and 41 words, I read that, I quote that, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Bisham, Shudranancha Param Tapa, Karmani, Prabhivaktani, Shabhava Prabhavai Gunaihi. The Shabhava, the duties of Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras have been allotted according to the capacities. Capacities means gunas. The guna means sattva, raja, tama. And that is why the Varna Veda. This Varna Veda and Jati Veda, these are the two words. Now mostly some people, because of their selfish motive, self-interest, they are making it Jati Veda. Jati is hereditary, but the Varna Veda, it is according to the qualities, as per the quality. Now the God himself is telling that I have divided the human being in these four groups. Why? Because of the society. We need these four groups. Now what are these groups? What are the qualities one should have to know as Brahmin? In the Bhagavad Gita again, in the 42 words it says, Damo, Shama, Tapa, Shaucham, Shanti, Arjavam evacha, Jnanam, Vijnanam, Astikyam, Brahma Karma, Svabhavajam. Now these are the words. The students of Vedanta, they are very much aware of all this. They know these words. What is that? Dhamma, the control of the mind. Then, Shama. Shama means control of the mind. Then Dhamma, the control of the senses. Then Shama, Dhamma, control of the mind, control of the senses. And we have 5 sense organs, all these 5 senses. Tapa, austerity. What is the austerity? Forcefully controlling all our sense organs. Then, according to Ma Sharadamani Devi, to keep the mind always thinking about God. That means withdrawing all the organs, sense organs from the sense objects and thinking only about the God. That is called austerity. Stapa, Shaucham, cleanliness. This is very, very important in the spiritual life. That physically and mentally one should be clean. The mental cleaning means pure thought, positive thought. Physical cleaning, of course, we know. Shanti, forbearance. Arjavam, uprightness. They are very straightforward and no ambiguity, no hypocrisy. That is called Arjavam. Jnanam, knowledge, the idea about everything. And Vijnanam, realization. Astikyam, a faith. Faith in the existence of God and faith in one's own power. That is called the Brahmana. Now, if these qualities are there, then one can think that one is a Brahmana. That this is what our Lord Sri Krishna is mentioning in the Bhagavad Gita. The Hindu scripture, if we say it in Hindu scripture, Hindus should know it, Hindus should follow it, because this caste system with which we are constantly, till today in the modern times also, we are constantly talking about it and thinking about it, and then making the differences among these people. We should understand that. Who can be called as a Brahmana? Just because he was born in a Brahmin family? No, at all. Who can be considered as Kshatriya? The Kshatriyas, the other day one person came that we are Kshatriyas. What are the Kshatriyas? Just because we are born somewhere and having some surname of that? Nothing. It says Shaurjam, Teja, Dhriti, Daksham, Yuddhecha api apalayanam, Danam, Ishara bhavascha, Shatram karma sabhavajam. That is heroism, Shaurjam. What is this heroism? You know, that is Swami Vivekananda and a British gentleman and a lady. Those who have read the biography of Vivekananda, you know that they were walking, it was almost the afternoon in England. In the meadows, then cows were there. Suddenly a bull, maybe seeing what, it chased. when it was coming rushing, so obviously it was naturally the two male were there, Swamiji and the gentleman. They were supposed to help that lady. Instead, that British gentleman, those who are very famous for these, but for the shaurya, for the heroism, he climbed on a tree and waiting for the bull to come. Swami Vivekananda stood over there protecting that lady who fell on the road and waiting for the bull to come and charge. That is called heroism, the shaurya, never afraid of death and protecting those who needs the protection. So this is called heroism. Tejo, high spirit. I have taken the oath that I am going to do this, I must do this. That is called the high spirit. Dhriti, firmness. And draksham, resourcefulness. He must be having good qualities. And the wealth also. Juddhe cha opi apalayanam. And never retreat from the battle. It's not all the time that the moment we say about the battle, that is a different picture comes, and different type of battles, challenges. The Swami Vivekananda, about him, the sister Nivedita said that he was more a soldier than a sannyasi. But that heroism was there, that courage was there, challenge after challenges. He came here in America when the American people never heard about the country India. And there he was spreading Hinduism and Vedanta, which was unthinkable. So many difficulties, so many challenges. And he said, the more opposition, more the power, the lion rise within me. So that is called Juddhecha apalayanam, never retreat from the battle. Dhanam, these people are very generous. Ishvara bhavascha, here the Ishvara bhava means capacity to rule, capacity for the administration. That is not in all people. There may be the second people, the majority of the people are very good followers. But the leaders are very few. They can understand, they can think, they can make the decisions. That is Ishvara bhava. Here it is not divine, but the administrative capacity, that is called Kshatra karma. And capable to do trade and business are the duties of the Vaishyas. And helping and serving the society are the duties of the Shudras. In the ancient scripture, we find particularly Shetashatara Upanishad, a word called Varna Veda. What is that Varna? In the Shetashatara Upanishad it says, Lahita, Shukla, Krishna, red, white and black. That means Sattva, Raja and Tama. So it is Varna. Here it says Varna Veda. Why Varna? Brahmana's qualities are all our sattva, the good qualities. All sattvas are there. That's why it is white. And then others. In the comparatively modern time, the word is used to describe this division of labor as Jati Veda, caste system. This is according to heredity. That is not correct. Now the modern Hindus should understand. They should read the Bhagavad Gita. They should read the Mahabharata. They should read the other scriptures. Nowhere these divisions were there. Unnecessarily we are thinking in this way, and the Hindu body is becoming more weak. They are thinking we love Hinduism, and they are shouting for the Hinduism, not knowing, unknowingly they are weakening the Hindu body, the Hindu religion, the Hindu philosophy. The division of duties according to quality and the division of duty according to heredity. All Hindu scriptures support the first one according to quality, not heredity. In a conversation between sage Bhrigu and sage Bharadwaja, the great Bhrigu said, when Brahma created human being, there was no difference between person to person. All were endowed with great good qualities, all were Brahmanas. Then as days passed, according to karma, from these people who were having Brahmana quality slipped to other qualities. And what is that? In Mahabharata we find, iti eti karma bhi vyasta dvija varnantaram gataha. Varna antara. Varna means the different groups. Antara, different. Varna, antara. So the Brahmin, according to the karma, some of the Brahmins, maybe a father is having 4 sons. One is having all the good qualities that the Brahmanas are supposed to have, like Shama, Dama, Tapa, Shaucha, all this. Second boy is having Shaurjam, Teja, Dhriti, Daksham. So all the qualities of the second. Third is very good in business. And fourth is very good in helping others. He can't take decision himself, that capacity is not there, but he is a very good helper. So by that way, one father having one son Brahmin, another son Kshatriya, then the Vaishya and the Shudra. There is no problem. So this is the way that in the beginning the Bhrigu and the Bharadwaja, they are, in their discussion, they mentioned about it. Then as days passed, according to their karma, they slipped. Again in Mahabharata we find is describing Yashya Yallakshanam Proktam Pumsha Varnavi Vyanjakam Yad Annatra Api Drishyata Tattenaiba Vinirdishet. Why it is so many times in the Mahabharata it is there? It has been discussed and described, because that time this thing came very strongly. At the time of Ramachandra it was not that way, but at the time of Sri Krishna it was so much this thing came. So Karna, as because he was raised in a lower caste family, though he used to drive the carts, so he was not considered as a Kshatriya, and in the Kshatriya games, though he was capable to do that, he was not allowed. Those who have read the Mahabharata, they know about it. So all this great Mahabharata war because of this wrong conception, that they didn't get the respect from the society because though they were having the quality because of their birth. And 2 Brahmins, they were born in the Brahmin family and they were raised in that, they had the good quality, but they took up as a profession the Kshatriya dharma. They were the acharyas. They used to teach the military training for the Kauravas students. So naturally the Brahmins is working as a Kshatriya and the Vaishyas and Shudras are not getting the opportunity. So that created problem in the society at the time of Mahabharata. The great war mainly was because of that. So that is the reason in the Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavan Krishna, who was the character in the Mahabharata. So he is telling like this, and in Mahabharata itself, the Vyasadeva is describing that this is a wrong conception. We should understand it is the quality, acquired quality, not by birth. When a person manifests qualities in his or her behavior, The categories that person according to the quality mentioned before should be the category. When we are categorizing, that is a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, etc., we should not see where he was born or she was born, but the qualities that they are having. In a person, change the quality. If a person changes the quality, can that person's category also be changed? If we ask this question, then it says, of course, sure. In Mahabharata again, Vanaparva, it says, if a Brahmana behaves like Shudra, and the Shudra like, say, Brahmana, then we should consider them accordingly. Navai Shudra, Bhavet Shudra. Brahmana, nacha Brahmana. If the Brahmana is not behaving as a Brahmana, he should not be considered as a Brahmana. Sometimes the sannyas conception came much afterwards, when previously it was the rishi as a muni, and then much afterwards came the sannyasa. If a sannyasi who is supposed to be completely given up, if he is behaving, is a grabbing and ruling and doing this and that in the society, he should not be considered as a sannyasi. If a Brahmana behaving like a Shudra, drinking, fighting, and all different type of things that those people they do, he should not be considered as a Brahmana just because he was born in a Brahmana family. So this is the idea. Now the caste depends on quality, not on birth. Friends, so we can remember that a doctor came to visit Ma Sharadamani Devi's house in Bagbazar, Calcutta. There, after all, he checked all the people over there. When he was leaving, Ma Sharadamani Devi asked the children, go and touch the feet of that doctor and express your gratitude. The other ladies came and whispered, Mother, he is not a Brahmin. We are all Brahmin. Our children cannot go and touch the feet of a non-Brahmin. The mother, who has not read the scripture, just because of her realization, very clearly then and there mentioned, he is such an educated person. He is serving the ailing people. If he is not a Brahmin, then who is a Brahmin? Go and touch the feet of that. So that solves all the problem if we can understand this. Swami Vivekananda said, everyone should be raised to Brahmanahood. Shakal ke Brahmanatte unnito karite hoibe. In Bengali, everyone should be raised to that quality. Now in Ramakrishna mission, the sannyasins, many are there who are not born Brahmin. Not only that, from different religious groups also, the sannyasins are there. There's some traditional people again, because of the wrong conception, there is question and they will be asking how a non-Brahmin can accept or get the sannyasa. If you see the process of the Ramakrishna mission, Swami Vivekananda himself, he made that rule. When a boy is coming, if he is a good quality or is ready to become a sannyasin, we should not consider his family, his birth, or the religious background, or whether poor or rich, like that. Now, first 10 years, he should go through the brahmacharya period. 10 years. The brahmacharya means he should be constantly practicing a routine life. Then there will be naturally, when living a community life, there are chances to become angry, to criticize others and this, that. And the seniors will be observing them. Are they too much hypercritic or not? Sometimes people, they criticize just only to express the anger, that's all, that is okay. not natural for the human being. But the hypercritic or not, whether obeying the orders of the seniors or not, serving others or not, having the faith in the existence of God or not, reading the scriptures or not, performing the work properly or not, and whether he is having desire for name, fame or not, all these will be constantly, they will observe, and then after 9 years, on the 10th year, he will become a sannyasi. Now, first 3 years, they will be observing. Then next, again, the 5 years, 2 years, of course, there is a training is there. Then after that, another 4 years, they will have that brahmacharya name, then to sannyasa. After the 10 years rigorous practice, their mind is obviously, it goes upward and they become Brahmin. That is the unique way Swami Vivekananda introduced this path. Anyone can become a Brahmin. And when you achieve that Brahmanatvahood, when you have achieved all those good qualities, you are eligible to accept sannyasa. You are a Brahmin. So that is what Swami Vivekananda said. Gautama Samhita is a very famous scripture. It says, Na jati pujyate rajan guna kalyana karakaha. O king, a man is not honored only for his birth, but for his qualities. As because I am a son of so and so, the people will accept me and give me all the respect? No. If you don't have the quality, you won't get that. The great people, their sons are not getting that respect. There is no quality. Vidyasagar's son, he was not so famous as Vidyasagar because he was not having those qualities that the Vidyasagar he was having. So that is natural. Not jati pujyate rajan. Just because you were born, they don't give you respect. Because of your quality, guna kalyana karaka. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, I will conclude with this and you will again go back to the pages of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, Bhaktir jatnai, the devotee have no caste. So that is why we are discussing this, because this is very important for the Hindus. And particularly in this modern age, at this time, we should understand this. It is the quality, not the birth. Sri Ramakrishna, then, Narayan is smiling. Brahmins and Shudras, all are one. That young boy is a student who was visiting Sri Ramakrishna. When Sri Ramakrishna said this, that to that gentleman, he is smiling saying, Brahmins and Shudras are all one. Because he developed the spiritual qualities. It is the human being, that is main. How he is behaving, that is main. So he mentioned like that. Brahmin, that gentleman again he is asking, can a man realize God in one birth? He is not asking Brahmin. Previously he was asking, is only the Brahmin can realize God. The Sri Ramakrishna rebuked. And then this person is asking, can a man realize God in one birth? This is a very important question. And Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is replying, is anything impossible for the grace of God? He is asking another question, giving the reply. Any moment, anyone can get the realization because it is in the power of God, grace of God. What is this grace? In Sanskrit it says kripa. This kripa, sometimes it is said, you have to perform, then you have to get. You have to perform. Kri means action, pa means achieve. You have to perform, then only you will get. what we should have to perform? Going in the cave and sitting over there and meditating, maybe. But the easiest way, the simplest way that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, just have faith in the existence of God and think God as your mother. And you can go to your mother with anything, whether you are clean or not, whether you are after bathing or not, any way you can go to your mother. Mother is always there. Ma Sharadamani Devi, in one of our conversations, she said, when the children are coming with dirts, it is the mother they clean and they take them on their lap. Children don't understand. That means if we are making any mistakes even, we are committing something wrong, but if we are repenting for that and go to the mother, I am sorry, I won't repeat it. There itself, the mother will say it is okay. So that is the way Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning. Is anything impossible for the grace of God? Suppose you bring a light into a room that has been dark 1,000 years. The unique example that Sri Ramakrishna is giving. Suppose you bring a light into a room that has been dark 1,000 years. Does it remove the darkness little by little? The room is lighted all at once. To Atul, the brother of Girish Chandra, intense renunciation is what is needed. Renunciation means tyaga. The what to renounce, what we should have to give up. Ego. Intense, that means the complete ego. Suppose we always say, I don't know, I can't do it, I depend on God, it will be jellyfish existence. No, not like that. You should have the Shraddha. So we have to understand this type of thing very clearly. The Shraddha means self-confidence, not ego. What is the Shraddha? I am fully convinced that God is there. So I can pray to God and the grace will come. Because God is so close to me. God is my mother. This is one. Second, I have complete faith in myself. When other people can do it, I too can do it. That is called Shraddha. And this is what he is telling, as is needed. One should be like an unsheathed sword. When a man has that renunciation, he looks on his relatives as black cobras and his home as a deep well. That means slowly you have to withdraw the mind from all these objects, the relatives, the wealth, the house, the position. If you like, good, continue. And if you like to be free from that, then you have to renounce. How? Not that immediately giving up everything, I become a wandering monk, not like that. Attachment to those things. I am not talking to any relatives or my children, grandchildren, because I have read in the gospel that Sri Ramakrishna said, you are all cobras. Then what will happen? All relatives will say, ban this book, because our parents are behaving like this. So it is not like that. It is the attachment to those people whom we are thinking so close to us. Well, we have done our duties. Now it is over. Thank you, friends. Now, if there is any question, and then afterwards we will conclude.
The first question is from Akshay. He is asking, what should we do when the mind is disturbed with intense desire?
Akshay, so this is nothing wrong if the desire is there. The sum of the desires you should fulfill, the desires which are not harming others. I repeat, the desires which are not harming others, that is nothing wrong in satisfying those desires. So this is the first thing. Secondly, try to understand, after satisfaction of those desires, whether you are very much satisfied. No. Mostly those who are elderly people, ask them their experience. No. Then you have to slowly withdraw, but not forcefully. Please understand, anything you like you can do if it is not harming others. And then pray to God, minimize this desire, O Lord. Thank you.
The next question is from Radha. She is asking why some people cannot use the available help to change their bad qualities.
Radha, so actually, of course, you are thinking for others, but it is better to think about ourselves. So, whatever the available the qualities are there, I am utilizing, I am trying to develop myself, that is good. You know, no one can fix this whole world. It is not possible. It will be like this because actually nothing is happening, but everything is happening. Why? Because we are thinking in that way. So that is the, but anyway, it is a completely Vedantic outlook that whatever is happening, let it continue, let it go. I have nothing to do with it. I have to withdraw my mind from these worldly objects and I should focus on God. That should be the ideology. That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, the goal of every human life is to realize God. Don't think about all this. Whatever is responsibility you are having, perform that and then collect your mind and focus on your goal, that is God realization. Thank you.
Sanhita is asking, what is the simple way of removing anxiety in our daily life?
This is a good question, very practical question. When the anxiety has come, some problem has come, and we are thinking how to overcome that problem, that is the anxiety. So, suppose you think so many problems came in our life, one after another, it was solved, it has been solved. And this will also go. So, that way you can always say, this shall also pass. So, one of our senior Swamiji used to tell us, this shall also pass. This is a mantra. So, whatever the problem is coming, all will be solved one day. Just wait and pray. Thank you.
Srima Biswas is asking, when someone is harming, then what should we do?
Of course, you should do hissing. That means a person when he is trying to harm you, that not that you should be afraid, but try to prove that you can also harm him. That's called hissing, but not truly biting. So, that is the main thing. So, but you know, the prayer has wonderful power. If you are praying to the God, this person is disturbing me, I cannot concentrate on you, I cannot properly call on you, I cannot pray to you, would it be possible to remove him from my life? Give him something else. You will see everything will be fixed. The God has wonderful power and that person will be changed. That is the way we can pray. Thank you, friends. It seems there is no other question. So, we will chant this mantra and conclude. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram parameshamidyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namamaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.